just before the break, when we were talking a little bit about the elections that are going to take place in September, which President Mubarak said he's not going to stand in. And also we got news that his son has said that he's not going to stand, and he's actually left the NDP party as well. Are these good signs?
Well, I think it shows that the regime is on the defensive, and so to that extent it's a good sign. But I really don't think that that's the kind of timetable that anybody in the opposition to Mubarak is thinking. They want him out right now. I mean, the response to the speech, to Mubarak's speech on Tuesday evening, was very, very interesting. I mean, I thought, okay, maybe it will be rejected by the hundreds of thousands. What about the millions that march? Beyond that, would they be convinced? And there is absolutely no sign that that's the case, to be honest. And so I think this kind of talk, it's almost otherworldly compared to what's going on. There is a revolution in progress. These people do want this man gone like last week. And the idea that we're going to sort of stroll through to another 6 months to September and then it all gets sorted out, I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, one gets the feeling that they're just watching their own state television and getting reports from them. We do have a caller from report is so far off the mark.
Well, I mean, it's systematic. I mean, the constant references to clashes between anti-Mubarak and pro-Mubarak forces. That isn't a description of the situation. It's an evasion of the truth about the situation. It's an evasion of the fact that on one side there are people who are being paid for, who are police officers in plain clothes, who have been whipped up by the state to attack the demonstrators. And on the other hand, there are people who are acting out of political commitment. Those are not. Those two groups of people could not conceivably, if you want to tell the truth about the situation, both be described as sets of demonstrators. That's a way of disguising the truth, not revealing the truth.
Yeah. And also,
I just wanted to make one particular point. I was listening to various other channels, French, Russian TV, and various other ones. What I have deduced from the various political analysts and commentators, it appears that the reason why Mubarak is not budging is because the United States, that's what they've been saying. According to the United States, unless they are certain, whoever moves in the new regime, unless they are friendly towards Israel, there is no way Mubarak will be moved out, because as soon as whichever party wishes to take power or control, they agree to the former policy which they have adopted towards Palestinians regarding Rafah, and also not allowing any goods or people movement. That is one of the sticking points. A lot of the commentators are saying. And also the other point is, throughout Middle East, all those people who are taking, they are all after power, and what they do, we all know, it's the old redundant talk, is supported by evil regime such as the United States. Despite all these economic crisis in their own country, they appear to be borrowing money here, from there, and everywhere, and still funding these regimes. It's only because we all know to protect Israel. The moment Rafah point is open, the moment people and goods services go into Palestine, like many of you were involved in, Islam Channel and various others try to take humanitarian aids, they were blocked by Egypt. Now, the simple thing is, until somebody comes to power and says, I support America, I support Israel, there's no way Mubarak will budge.
Okay, Ali, let me stop you there, because we have got your name, where you're calling from?
My name is Mustafa. I'm calling from London.
Okay, Mustafa, we haven't got much time, so very quickly, your point, please.
Yeah, thank you, brother. My question is about what's going on in Egypt right now. I'm really very worried what's going on there. Though I'm not from Egypt, but I'm from Somalia, because I came from a war-torn country, Somalia, and I know really when these things happen, it's not good for the people and for the country. Right. So my question is, if the President Hosni Mubarak go from there, do you think this will stop, or what do you think next?
very good point there. What do we think next? We haven't got much time, but quickly on that last one, what do we think next?
Well, it can scarcely be worse than Hosni Mubarak's regime. I mean, this is, he said, I've got to stay because that's the only way we'll have stability. Well, if this is stability, I wonder what instability looks like.
Yeah.
And I think the Egyptian movement is a very powerful movement. I thought the doctor that spoke from the hospital who told us about the self-organisation of people, that is happening in every walk of life. Security on the street, the checkpoints, the cleaning of the streets. The Egyptian people have a huge capacity to manage their own society. They're demonstrating it now after 30 years of being locked out of their own society. I've got a great deal of faith that what they do will be better than what Mubarak's done.
Well, thank you, John, for joining me this week. We have run out of time, and inshallah, next week, you get an opportunity to speak about whatever subject that you have a view on.